Thank you very much. First of all, gem stock for the tier 13, dark ones for the tier 100, and tackle stuff for the tier 3. Thank you for the little bits, everybody. Slowly chipping away at Montian. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're all far too kind. As we go into game 1 of this best of 5 grand final to the bottom right-hand side. Let's turn up the hype a little bit. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Team Liquid Snute. Our final series of the day, as we have to the top left our blue Zerg player from Prophecy Esports. It's Reynor. We are coming up to being about 10 hours into our broadcast of the day. It's been another big day of StarCraft with a 10-hour stream. Tomorrow we're back, tomorrow evening, with the Yost StarCraft League. That's a Swiss league, and that's going to be happening tomorrow, Group A, from 7 PM CET. Then I'm going to be going offline for like 3 or 4 hours, 2 or 3 hours maybe. And then we come back. Oh yeah, listen to this. Then we come back. I know you guys are so excited, you can't believe it. Then we come back to cast the WESG APAC Regional Finals. That's at 4 AM CET, or 3 AM CET, 4 AM CET. One of those. Right in the middle of the night it starts, and then we go on through, and then we'll cast until we hit the OSC Championship bracket. It's going to be freaking good, man. It's going to be a freaking long stream, actually, but it should be a lot of fun, so fingers crossed. Here is hoping. Should be awesome, but a lot of StarCraft coming up. So if you don't already, make sure you do follow the channel so that you can see when we're live with even more of that StarCraft, with all of that content we just discussed right there, because we want you to see it all. We don't want you to miss anything, because that would just be a shame. That would just be a shame. Wouldn't it, guys? Wouldn't it? Early game here is going to be Hatch. A replay, hatchery focus play. Third hatch already on the way up from Reynor. Snute actually is not going into the third hatch right away. He will go into it in a moment here. He was just getting slowed down a little bit, so those Lings are actually going to try and slow it down again. They already forced one cancel and going for another one now. As we're going to be seeing these Lings looking to see what they can do. Snute about to hit Ling speed, so should be able to push them back a bit more easily. He's actually up on drones, but obviously a much later third hatch has some little impacts here and there. As we're going to continue to move on through. 5 zillions of Reynor just coming on over, and we're just going to be seeing more Lings of Snute coming over too, to see what else is happening. Wardy, thanks for being honest. What was I being honest about, RX Grim? I can't remember what I said. Oh god, what if I lied and you thought I was being honest? Oh my god. Okay, well we do see some Zerglings running on forwards here as we see some Banes. Obviously we'll try to respond to it. And so far so good. Snute going to be able to push this back. Gets himself into a little bit of a supply block. He's going to have overloads on the way to get out of that though. So not too much. That's kind of too much of an issue. And we're probably going to be seeing the Roach play coming up here over the next few minutes. Getting set up into the Roaches very soon. It was Snute versus Reynor, the round of 8 in WCS Valencia 2015. That, well, not even 2015, 2016. The event that Reynor got a top 8 finish in. That was a DreamHack Valencia thing. It's a little bit different. He was allowed to compete. But he got top 8 at that event, Reynor, which was huge for him. And he got knocked out by Snute 3-0 in those quarterfinals. Snute went on to not have the victory that he was maybe hoping for. And it was Nurture that ended up being the overall winner. As we do see those Lings of Snute going down the right hand side of the map, and more Zerglings from Reynor continue to move through the middle as well. Ling's going to come all the way down towards his natural expansion, and more Ling's going to go over to the left hand side where they're going to start targeting down this hatchery. Hatchery going to start taking a little bit of trouble. Both players continue to run up behind this, but Reynor's already making that switch into the Roaches. Roach roaring, and the +1 missile attack coming through. Lings from Snute going to be moving up in towards the center of the map here, and a Baneling from Reynor as well, just moving over to the left hand side as well also. More Lings coming all the way over to the right hand side. And more Lings down the right hand side for Snute as well. Some more Lings down the right, some more Lings through the center as well from Reynor here currently. And they're going to be approaching this little bit of an army from Snute, Roaches, Lings, and the Baneling. She is, of course, looking to defend in the near future. Morlings around the left, some roaches in position. Going to be able to push it away for now. More Zerglings up the right-hand side. Snute looking to see what else he can get up to here. Lair on the way up. Will be finishing in a few moments. So some more, so again, just Lings down the middle of the map, diving around. Looking to see what they can get up to in the next few moments. Overlords moving around themselves here. And just again, Lings looking to see what's up and what is happening. It's going all the way over to the left-hand side once again. So a little bit of back and forth here as we do see the extra roaches on the way up right now. So it's still just setting up into this. 7 more roaches, 8 more roaches currently building from Reynor. Again, just behind on the +1 attack here. We are going to be seeing the +2 missile attack on the way up from Reynor though. So he gets that going. A bit of a back and forth game at the moment. A little bit of a back and forth game. 4 more overlords on the way out. Still in a supply block. And all said and done, past the early game, Reynor did come out with a slight lead. You can see that little bit of an income lead he's come out with at the moment. Army supplies are pretty even, but obviously he has the upgrade timing window on his side as well. A lot of roaches going to push down right now, but well, Snute's +1 is not far away, so it's not like Reynor's going to hit with the upgrade lead anymore. Ling counterattack, we'll see what it can do. Lings to the left-hand side are actually coming in and picking off a couple of queens already. So Reynor looking to strike here, while also looking to strike at the front. Snute with the Ravagers, though, is going to push that back very easily. Neither player of Roach Speed just yet, but is going to be finishing up very shortly. Snute does cancel the 4th hatchery of Reynor, so he keeps his own alive while cancelling the 4th base of his opponent there. Baneling gets a good connection, and so far, though, Zergling is not going to be able to do enough. A few more Zerglings pulling back down the right, and we are going to still see some roaches to the top. Reynor still moving around to see what else is going to happen. 7 Hydralisks on the way through. A Lurk Den on the way up as well at the moment here. So, Lurk Den coming up also. A few more roaches building as well. So it's actually just going to counterattack across the map. His quality of army is a little bit better with all of these Ravagers. Maybe he decides he doesn't actually want to do that, but just wants to draw his opponent out of position slightly for these Zerglings to get some damage done. 4 or 5 workers going down. Very nicely done here so far. 5 workers picked off. Very, very solid. Well, roaches from Reynor still setting up in the center. The 4th hatchery is still coming up as well. Some Hydras also joining in. They're going to get ready to push on through the middle of the map right now in the next few moments. 11 more roaches coming in. A couple of Ravagers. Morphine also. Baneling Nest getting that centrifugal hooks up. Reynor to the right-hand side with some roaches getting set up as well. Snute comes forward. We're going to see some corrosive bounce coming down. Firing away at the moment here. Looking to try and do a little bit more as we do see this hatchery in the center of the map. This 4th hatchery in the center of the map obviously going to be in a little bit of trouble. Roach is going to be all the way in towards this natural mineral line. Snute will immediately surround with the drones to try and help out. And those roaches, a couple of them are stuck on move command still. Big fight to the top side though that Reynor seems to be winning out in. As he still steps forward, he will take this one with confidence there. And Snute losing 13 drones in the meantime. Heavy damage taken. Where Snute's +2 still not starting. And that lack of a +2 upgrade is something that Reynor will just ride into the future of this game. +2 attack missing from Snute is really going to hurt him. Reynor +2, Snute +1. 18 more roaches on the way up. Another Ravager morphing in. Baneling speed going to be finishing shortly. And that centrifugal hooks will allow Snute to just move into another kind of stronger position in this. As some roaches down the left going to be moving in. And more roaches respond to this pretty quickly. Snute comes through and he will be able to start targeting those roaches down. So roaches taking quite a bit of damage right now. Roaches disappearing very, very quickly. They all do end up falling. Roaches, Hydras, Lurkers up to the top, or into the center, I should say. And they're going to try and do a little bit of something as well here as we see roaches coming in en masse from a few different angles. Some corrosive balls coming down. The Lurkers from Reynor will go a long way to help out. Does Snute have a way to really fight through this? And his Overseers are here to fight against the Lurkers, but it feels as though the Lurkers have already done a little bit too much. Coming in towards the latter stages of this, Reynor's running out of a few units to help protect them. Snute doesn't feel as though he can keep on pushing himself. He has to back away. Reynor dodges the first set of corrosive vials. There's more units coming in right now. Those Lurkers have found themselves in a bit of a better position to fire on those units in a bit of a tough position. Snute loses his 4th hatchery in the front. Again, Reynor's 4th hatchery is only just finishing up now after all of the aggression that's happened so far in this game. You'll see this roach at the front gets taken down as well. Lurkers will unburrow, and they're going to pull back up to the top side of the map. 3 more Lurkers morphing on in right here. More roaches coming on through. A lot of roach ravage up the left-hand side, so I'm going to try and do a little bit of something with this, although so far unsuccessful. Not able to make its way in just yet. And again, Snute just on the way back down the left-hand side, perhaps. See what else it's going to get up to as well. Reynor continues with those roaches right now, and we're going to be seeing still the roaches, the ravages of Snute collecting together here. Reynor to the right-hand side with a few roaches still set up, and the lurkers are still one thing that Snute just does not have an answer to at the moment. Infestation rate dropping. I mean, high Vipers, etc. could be great, but I don't think Snute has the time to get set up into that here. Some roaches dive in the main, and just Snute doesn't know anywhere near the left at his third base, which means that Reynor just walks on in, takes it down. Let's see what's going to happen. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. If you have enjoyed the stream, do not forget that you can support the channel. Hit that follow button, see when we're live with more StarCraft in the future. If you really want to support, you can subscribe. If you've got Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. You get massive replay packs as a subscriber. Over 550 replays from December already released. And there's also more coming up in the next few days for all of you beautiful, beautiful subs. Again, it's free to subscribe with Twitch Prime. If you haven't used it elsewhere, and we'd love to take a Twitch Prime sub off your hands. Helps us a lot to stay afloat as a StarCraft 2 content producing channel. As we have to the top left, here in game number 2, our red Zerg from Team Liquid. It is Snute. He's going up against the blue Zerg, bottom right hand side from Prophecy Esports. Reynor. Hatch, gas pool. Snute gonna go free hatch before gas pool here in this game. What a way for him to set up here in game number 2. So we're going to take a little bit of a gamble early, but it's going to pay off. Just a hatch gas pool from Reynor means he doesn't really have a way to punish this. And so Snute, from the very early stages of this game, is already going to be taking a little bit of a lead. He's already pushed himself into a bit of a lead right here. As, Reynor, super fast evolution chamber. So Reynor's even going to bypass his Zerglin speed here early on to instead go into a very fast Carapace upgrade. So going to go into that Carapace upgrade very, very quickly. See what he can do from there. There's that Evo chamber finishing up. And we do see 2 Zerglings from Reynor. A few Zerglings from Reynor actually going to start going across towards the upper left-hand side of the map. So feeling is moving in towards the upper left-hand side. What's up, Mayajita1 says, hey Wardy, it's me, the guy who watches you on YouTube every night before bed. I left the first comment on one of your newer videos. What's up, man? Thank you for the YouTube watches. Glad you enjoy. As we do have the Baneling Nest coming on down from Snute on the natural expansion. He's got a little bit of aggression on this third base right now, as you can see. Some Lings starting to just be a little bit of a nuisance. There is indeed the Carapace upgrade from Reynor. We'll see how this plays out against the free hatch before pool, because Snute will have that kind of accelerated kind of setup of production. Let's see what he can do with it. Obviously the Queen's coming up as well from Snute, and Reynor will not have Ling speed as fast. He will not have Banes at all. He will bypass Banelings completely and fight this with pure Zerglings with that Carapace upgrade. So setting up in towards this and see what indeed will happen. Feeling is coming in towards the front here from Reynor. Just gonna sit down, sit around and wait. Natural expansion is coming up and saturating. Maybe a second Evo chamber already from Reynor, so he's gonna go into melee very quickly behind this, it seems. And then does he? I mean, he doesn't have a let it go Carapace, and Carapace is nearly finished. So maybe this is not so much a Evo chamber to build stuff off of. It's just an Evo chamber to get these queens into a little bit of a choke point with, which is actually a very realistic way to help him defend here. Carapace is going to finish soon, and that will help him against the Banes. It means the Lings will tank an extra shot. Snute going to try and run forwards. He sees those queens. There's a little bit of a gap. And we'll want to have to decide very, very soon what exactly he wants to do with this. Carapace completes. Ling speed completes. The drones are going to pull away already. And Snute is going to be looking for those connections. Those Banes have to be so very careful of what they connect onto. They want big connections here, and that's going to be a couple of them right away. Reynor hasn't found himself a good enough of a defense to this just yet, but maybe soon, because he is Snute running out of Zerglings to follow up with this. He's got a lot more in the way of his own Rotoron coming up as well as an Evo chamber. The transition getting set to go. Snute with a 4-worker lead and a hatchery advantage at the moment here. But he has to be careful because in this game, of course, Reynor now has the advantage in Ling on Ling because he has the Carapace upgrade now going into the melee upgrade. And that will help quite a lot here. He's going to see those Lings from Reynor coming on in. The Banelings coming through as well. More Lings of Snute. We'll be able to deflect this. Reynor will not have any success just yet. Again, Snute with a 5-worker lead. Now 10 more drones on the way up. He's got a huge worker lead here. And Snute's going across the map to try and stop Reynor from establishing this 3rd hatchery. Well, Lings from Reynor are going to try and come in and fight this, but Snute will probably turn around and engage. Just be careful, doesn't want too many Lings to go in on their own. He's just going to commit onto this hatchery. It looks as though he will. He's going to be heavily outnumbered here in a moment or so, though, and he might not actually be able to get the hatch. Okay, he will force the cancel. It costs him a lot of Lings in the process. He can kind of afford that for now, considering his own position in terms of the economy lead. He needs to be a little bit careful not to do that too much, because otherwise he will open himself to a big weakness, a big hole of defense when it comes to counterattacks immediately from Reynor. Counterattacks such as the one that's already setting up to go. Reynor spinning the nest now on the way up as well. Snute does have the Roachron, or he was building it. He does have it, yes. But doesn't want to build up the Roaches just now. Wants to keep on defending with Ling Bane for the moment, which is understandable because Roaches can be a little bit weak initially against Lings because of how powerful they can be with the full surrounds. Bane's coming in for the flank. Reynor is good enough to kind of dodge away for now, though. Another Baneling going off on just another Zergling. Not much gained here just yet. 2 Banes don't really do too much just yet. Another Bane just weakens a few Lings. No kills. That's the power of that Carapace showing at the moment. But again, Snute, his economy's been so far ahead for so long. It makes up for the lack of efficiency when it comes to actually fighting with Ling on Ling. You can see the resource loss difference is favoring Reynor. But, again, Snute has enough of an income lead, and he's had it for long enough to make up for that. A couple more Banes leading the charge. It just stops Reynor from chasing with Lings for too long now. Plus 1 missile coming in from Snute as well, so that's going to help out a lot here for him. As you're going to see, oh my god, those Banes getting so close, and actually Snute now with an overwhelming number of Zerglings going to start taking this fight over here as well. A couple of Banes will probably come in to help out and continue to take those down. I think Reynor might be out of luck at the moment. He's getting some of his own Banelings up now as well. Will he be able to do enough here? Queen's already targeting down 1 Baneling and 2. Snute has a lot more Banes where that came from, though, and a couple of Banes coming forward from Reynor. Those Banes were not good enough from Snute. They did nothing so far. More of them going off towards these Queens, but Queens still have transfusions. So those Banelings did nothing, and Reynor defends this very easily over on this side of the map. Very, very nicely done. Well, Lings of Reynor going to counterattack across here. 4 more Banelings on the way up. I'm going to see a couple more Banes of Snute coming on forwards. Trying to see what else he can get done in the next few moments. Lings continue to come on in, keeping on fighting. Banes still looking to see what they can go off on. 2 Banes for 2 Banes so far. There's still more Zerglings coming forwards here from Reynor. More Banes as well from him as 2. Snute still hasn't made that switch into Roaches despite having the +1 missile attack finished. Again, he just hasn't really found the chance. He needs to keep on defending for now. And right now, Snute doesn't have much left over. Morphin Banes are just going to survive. He will come down here, really try and cancel those Banes of Reynor. What's his plan? Morphs in a few Banes there as well. Maybe a bit of a bait. Does it right in front of Reynor, almost as though saying, hey, come on, target me. I want you to target me here. Things will come in. They will be able to get themselves a Queen kill. Bane's going to get a huge amount of drones up there. 8 workers going down. Snute taking some losses. More Banes finishing morphing for him. There's just units all over the place. Snute's now going to try and make the switch up into Roaches. So he's starting to get a few of those going in. Another drone line gets hit by the Baneling, but 10 workers only going down, and he still keeps Snute in a worker lead. And now Snute has a good Roach number starting to come onto the map, and that Roach advantage is maybe going to be enough to just push across the map with. Is there enough here from Reynor to fight this? I kind of feel like no. And what's really cool is that Snute's still adding in a few Banes here and there. The Banes really do go a long way because it forces those Lings to stop just coming in for the surround the Roaches super simply. They have to really juke and dive and really figure out how exactly they want to commit on in. A few Zerglings of Reynor going to be pushed away here for the moment. A few Roaches in the center of the map, and we are going to be seeing a +1 Carapace coming on up in the back of that mineral line. Morling's coming through as well. The Hydra's Den finishes up from Snute, and we are going to be seeing the Roach run. And the natural expansion will finish in a moment or two as well. So setting up in towards that, as we do have still here 19 more Roaches from Reynor currently on the way up. I think it's going all the way over to the left hand side. A few Banes, thinking about maybe committing on in, and now we're going to see those Lings of Reynor just going to back away here a little bit now. Reynor's caught up in terms of supplies. He starts going to roaches of his own. Snute going into the lurker den immediately. He doesn't get aggressive with his roaches. Just starts to build up in towards the lurkers and will still hold an advantage in terms of the missile upgrade. Well, the Cactus upgrade will take the lead once again here from Reynor very shortly. He'll have +2 coming on in the next few moments. Again, it's just going to be the tech advantage in general from Snute then with those lurkers. We saw in the last game, Reynor had the lurkers and Snute didn't, and it made it so difficult for Snute to realistically fight and engage so many times in those skirmishes. And it's going to be the other way around this time around, so it's going to be the other way around. That's going to hurt a little bit here. It's going to be easy to figure this out properly, as we do see an Overseer just moving forwards as well, and towards the center. Those lurkers are so close to coming out. Snute, does he have any Hydras on the map already? No, not just yet. So he won't have lurkers immediately. We'll have to make the Hydras, then morph into lurkers. Again, these supplies going to be maxing out at pretty much the same time here, but again, got to remember that Reynor's maxing out a much weaker composition without lurkers being included. Snute only with 4 Hydras right now. That's only 4 lurkers he's going to be able to get for himself. He's a little bit gassed off, so maybe a little bit concerned about trying to make too many Hydras at once. Some roaches down to the south side getting shut down already. Reynor not going to allow Snute to do too much damage just there. More units coming in towards the center of the map. Reynor looking to keep up the pressure, keep up the aggression at the moment. Some Zerglings coming up to the top side once again here. Ravager gets taken down. More roaches from Reynor going over to the left side as we're going to be seeing a little bit of a fight kicking in. So here we go. Some Banes from Snute going to try and get into the front as well. Where are his lurkers? They just don't exist right now. So he doesn't have that lurker kind of opportunity that we maybe talked about. Snute's winning the fight on the far left, but he is not winning the fight over on the far right. And the army of Reynor very powerfully currently just pushing on through this. Oh my god, Reynor is completely pushing Snute away. He's going to keep on just raining down, kind of hurt, and again, just attacking before Snute had the lurkers out. A beautiful little time in struck here, but can only stick around for so long. Snute's reinforcements starting to come into play. A lot of these roaches very damaged though. Reynor should probably try and make sure he can pick up as many of those as possible. Although his own roach is very damaged too, and if he sticks around too much longer, he will end up losing some of those roaches. 1-for-1 roach at the very end of this here now, as we're going to be seeing, well, still that hatchery just set up out the front. A lot more roaches of Reynor continue to come across over to the left-hand side. 4 roaches, 5 roaches over to the far left, and some spine crawlers going to be firing away, picking off 1 roach. Good defense from Snute. Snute's still down in army supply in these fights, as Reynor is about to finish up his +2 missiles to make these upgrades even once again. Reynor pulling all the way back, and Snute getting the kind of stabilization for a moment or so, getting some Hydras up once more. This time might be able to set himself up into the lurkers and actually get them into the game. He wasn't able to do that last time around, and that's what sort of hurt him just a little bit there in the last little skirmish. I'd say a little skirmish was pretty crazy. Ferocious Hydras Rav is going to continue to push on forwards, and we are going to be seeing Snute able to come on in and just keep on fighting this at the moment, as we're going to see again those roaches of Reynor going to be coming on through here, and well, it looks as though Snute is going to continue to fight against all of this, but does he have enough? I think the answer is yes, he does. Snute's pushing this back, and now he can morph in those lurkers if he wants to, if he even needs to. He's currently picking away a couple of overlords. The Hydras on their own right now is going to be just fine, it feels like. Reynor only has roaches. Snute, even with a couple of Vipers coming into play, it just gets better for him. He even has his 3rd missile upgrade coming into play as well. And that's going to be something Reynor does not have here for a long time, because Reynor does not have a hive tech. He does not even have an infestation pit. And so Reynor is running into trouble. That lack of tech that we were talking about earlier in this game is still very apparent at this stage now. Where what? You know, 14 minutes in, this game goes back to what was a crazy back and forth Ling Bane sort of fight phase and all the rest of it. A few Lings coming up top. We're going to be seeing some roaches down the south. A lot of these Lings coming on over and seeing what's going to happen. Nothing just yet, though, is the answer. Nothing just yet. Hydra's from Snute pushing on forwards. +3 missile attack from Snute currently on the way up on this evolution chamber again. Hive is going to be finished up. Obviously quite some time ago, and that's what's allowing him to take all of these kind of tech leads in the game at the moment. The +3 missiles, the Vipers. I think, well, what are the Vipers going to do right now? Well, if there was lurkers from Reynor, they would be able to abduct them. But if he was able to get some blinding clouds as well, that could also do a lot in terms of fights and creating some good fights for himself. Ling counterattack coming in up here, and we see a couple of spines coming down to try and protect that base. Snute's actually wrapped around through the center of the map, so he's now going to start creating this fight. He's going to force this into happening. I don't even know where Snute's lurkers are right now. The Viper's sat in the sky, not really doing much. Reynor might just win this fight because of the lack of lurkers. There they are. The lurkers finally down to the south side. For a moment, I thought Reynor might win this because Snute has so much tech that's not really doing anything. For example, what did the Vipers do in all of this? Nothing. Where were the lurkers? Well, apparently they were here. And they were just kind of off screen. I didn't quite see them. Obviously, as those units did come into play, it became a very one-sided equation. And now Reynor gets pushed away all the way into his third base. And Snute looking to tie this up. One game apiece. Obviously on the front is going to finish morphing, but will get taken down. Some lurkers going to be in some trouble still. Roaches continue to push on through from Reynor. And Ravager going down. Hydras and Ravagers continue to fight. GG, and Snute will take game 2. I just saw something mentioned in Rogue on Twitter a moment ago and had him on my mind. To the bottom right hand side, our Red Zerg player from Team Liquid. What a game. For game number 2, I mean, aggressive, fun, back and forth, had moments of suspense and all sorts. To the bottom right hand side, our Red Zerg player is Snute. And to the upper left, our Blue Zerg player from Prophecy Esports is Reynor. So, dubstep, I know. A little bit of actual dubstep on stream in the break. Yeah, I like to change it up with the music, you know. I have a very a large variety of different things on my playlist, so I try and do them all a lot, do all the different things. Just a good mixture. I always have a lot of different songs I enjoy listening to, right? So whenever I get the chance and something a bit different comes on, I don't shy away from playing it all of the time. Sometimes I don't feel like I skip through. I just like listening to different music. Real life dubstep on the stream just then, I know. Mental. Absolutely mental. Well, getting set up and waiting to see where game number 3 will take us in the next few moments. Looking to see what our players are going to bring to the table here to change things up and to make some interesting action. Because honestly, game number 2 is maybe one of the most unique ZvZ matches I've seen in a very long time. Just kind of craziness, mayhem, and real just kind of back and forth action all the way throughout that one. From both sides as well. Like, it wasn't just one of them. Both of them were playing their hearts out there to keep that up, as we do see. Well, Ling's on the way up at the moment here from Reynor in game number 3. Ling's on the way up from Snute 2. Both of them looking to just back up their third hatcheries. With a little bit of Ling Bane aggression, but ooh, cancels the Bane Nest. Reynor throws down the Roach Roaring. And so he's just going to go for some roaches very quickly behind his Ling aggression, which generally does spell out aggression. So some Ling is coming in towards the bottom right-hand side. This hatchery is going to be finishing up in a moment, and Snute can't do much about that. His Ling's actually backing away from the third base too. His Bane's about to finish up, and not quite in time to get rid of those initial set of Lings. Reynor makes the dive, and he makes it work. You can see these Lings and the Queen fighting in the main base, skirmishing, but so far so good, and so far, neither player really taking massive losses. Neither player really taking the advantage. Reynor continues to drone despite that roach roaring. Now he makes a couple more roaches. We'll see what he tries to do. Some more Zerglings just going to be moving on from Reynor now in towards the south central side. Snute coming in towards the middle as well, going to be trying to fight against some more of those Zerglings. 7 roaches on the way up. A lot of roaches on the way up, actually, here, is going to be seeing Snute. Finds back over here. Oh my god, he gets some very good Bane connections, though. I mean, that's going to help him a lot already in terms of defending against any aggression of Reynor. He does need to know what's coming. He's starting up his own roach run. He does have some gas to put into roaches. He sees some roaches now already for Reynor, but Reynor's actually making drones himself. He actually needs to make sure he can defend this third hatch, though. The third hatch going to get fully surrounded, which means the damage output is going to be pretty legit. And it looks as though Snute is maybe going to go for the roaches now. Does he have enough lings to make this work? That's going to be the real question here. A couple of those roaches are starting to drop, but is it enough in time? Still has us around here, and we are going to see a couple more roaches continue to drop down. I mean, obviously this was a decision Snute made here to go for the roaches rather than the hatchery. He kills 6 or 7, so 5? 5 roaches on the third hatch. Which would you rather kill? It's tough to say. Well, now Snute makes 13 roaches, so maybe if his intention is to go for a big follow-up attack of his own, lowering that roach count would be a much better sort of way of going about things. You can see those lings coming down the right-hand side. Queen and a few roaches. So I'm going to stack on up more lings from Snute as well. Just 8 Zerglings on the right side at the moment. Allow on the way from Reynor. Drones on the way from Reynor. Things that will not help Reynor survive this roach attack. He sees it now as those roaches start to move across towards the upper left-hand side. Here we go. Snute going to get very aggressive here as we see more of those lings go to the right-hand side too. Going to chase down those Zerglings of Reynor. And this is what it comes down to. Can Snute break through in the next few moments? Going to be an Evo Chamber to try and buy time at the front. Reynor collects towards the third base, but Snute's going to come straight up in towards the natural. A ton of Banelings. 10 of them starting to morph in, and of course extra Zerglings to reinforce eventually here as well. Snute doesn't know about that Evo wall-off though. He has to assume it to some extent though, surely. Another few Banes morphing in, and how does he lead the charge? Surely he doesn't bust this down with the Banes right here. Snute. No, surely you're not going to use the Banes on these Evos, are you? He mostly does. Evos go down. A few more Banes finished up. Going to move up here. Going to try and splash into some of those roaches. Lings and roaches now going to try and make their way up the ramp. A corrosive bow will land on a couple of roaches too. Reynor feels as though he's kind of maybe got enough to make this happen. It's a mess of red and blue at the moment between both of the players. Corrosive bows on either side. Snute's going to get us around on some lings as Reynor is reinforced with more roaches though, and Snute's just reinforced with Zerglings. Right now Snute's roaches staying alive because they're protected by the Zerglings, but not for much longer as reinforcements need to get here right now. Snute's suddenly taking a little bit of a surge in lead in terms of the army supply. There's extra lings going to be arriving momentarily, and this is what Snute's been waiting for just a few moments to really help out here. Starting to kill a lot of these drones, still not even droning behind this. Snute continue to just make pure units. Last couple of roach-based units from Snute going to come out. He actually cancels Reynor that Ravager to morph it back into a roach and to move it out of the way of the corrosive bow that would have killed it. Nicely done. Seeing 14 drones picked off here, so we're going to be seeing those rocks going to be targeted on down. 44 workers to the 40. Spire on the way behind this from Reynor. If he can get those meters up, obviously Snute might be caught very off guard by them. I mean, one thing Snute doesn't have is a lair in general, so he doesn't even have roach speed coming through. And that's something which will be in Reynor's side of things. And that's probably why Snute's continuing to commit as well, realizing he maybe doesn't have time to set up into a lair and upgrades of his own. He needs to win this sooner rather than later. So breaking down these rocks, going to focus towards the third hatch this time. He has 8 roaches and 6 ravages against 14 and 4, but he has a lot of Zerglings to use as well, and those lings will be a big part of being able to fight a bit more effectively, especially if he gets a surround and can turn that surround into some very effective corrosive bows, which he's starting to do. Those corrosive bows will force the roaches away just slightly. I thought the lings might have held them in position a little bit better. The Ravager's doing a good job here initially from Snute and still streaming across the map with a few more lings. Behind this now, Snute will start to drone up here. Is it going to be enough? Corrosive bows just not quite cancelling those couple of roaches on the way. I think Reynor's going to be able to hold on. More roaches coming in from the right-hand side, some more popping out. He will lose the third hatchery though. Maybe that's why Snute started drawing up. He does have a +1 upgrade coming in as well. We'll try and trade out against a few more of these roaches. Getting the Ravagers to the left side would be great too. He does maybe just dive on towards that, because there's no way out of this from Snute. He doesn't have a roach speed and he has to recognize this here. And because of that, he is going to just turn around to fight. Yeah, he gets himself another Ravager. So he makes the most of it in the very end. Snute comes out ahead on army supply. Now Mutas on the way though, and how prepared is Snute going to be for Mutas? Maybe not even at all prepared for them. I mean, he does have the lair now, but he doesn't have a hydrogen starter or anything, right? He doesn't have any spore crawlers. His queen count's only at 3. And these first Mutas could do some real good damage here from Reynor. Snute doesn't even have that many overlords on the map to see the Mutalisk coming across, which could obviously kind of suck as well as those Mutas gather together. We're going to start heading across down towards the south side of the map here in the next few moments. So let's see what they can do, because Snute is still not reacting to it. And this should be at least a few worker kills, you'd imagine. At least a queen and a couple worker kills, right? With only a queen per base right now, it's not like there's going to be a ton of queens joined up together right away. Snute sees the Mutalisk now for the first time, immediately starts a spore crawler in each of his mineral lines already. The first queen, though, going to be dropping another queen. Going to get targeted as well. Third queen from the third base does come on over. So far, one Mutalisk goes down in amongst all of this. The Muta's going to get back into action, though, and that queen is, going to get another Muta. Reynor messing up there just slightly. And Snute is going to be pulling his roaches back home. He's just going to be sitting defensively for a little while. More queens on the way out. Again, this wasn't a ton of Mutalisks, so while they're annoying, it's not necessarily worthwhile building up too many units against them. In particular, obviously, you need the queens. But again, it's only 6 meters, and so spores alone should be able to protect for the most part. If the queens, especially, to give a little bit more kind of a mobile kind of defense, should be all okay. As soon as a 4th hatch up as well, Reynor has only just re-established his 3rd hatchery. As we do see the +1 missile attack upgrade on the natural expansion starting to come on through. Hydra's Den starts up from Reynor in the main base. Roaches and Ravages going to be able to break through these rocks. Rocks will go down, and obviously access is gained. Here's going to be seeing Reynor jumps onto this Overlord, and the Overlord will go down. Roaches and Ravagers continue onto this hatchery, and we will be seeing again another couple of battles cancel some of those units there. More meters coming down to the south side, and that Overlord once again really taking some more damage. So Overlord does drop. And again, a couple of queens seeing what they can do. So we are going to see again the Overlords continue to take a little bit more damage. So Overlords continue to drop. Second Overlord going down. I mean, the supply block is huge here. Snute has to spend so much minerals just replacing Overlords at this stage. Queen slowly poking away at this, but with the mutas on that side of the map, it gives the Roaches of Snute a chance to move over. He does have a +1 missile upgrade, but overall his army supply is less than Reynor, and Reynor does see this attack coming in. Snute will probably just be poking and try and pick off the 4th hatch here. Let's see if he's going to be successful. Reynor doesn't even try to defend this hatchery, so that goes down. Snute will just immediately back away from this. Reynor going into a lurker den behind all of this now, as Snute just with a +2 missile attack upgrade. His Hydra den now dropping, so he'll get in towards the lurker den eventually, but not in the immediate future. It will take him just a little while, as those mutas do chase those roaches away towards the bottom right side of the map once again. Roaches here will target down those rocks. Rocks will drop. And Roaches and Ravagers of Reynor will continue over to the right hand side, where they do have access through and in towards this hatchery. Roaches move forwards here right away, and they're going to be a little bit back and forth. Mutas being targeted by those queens for a moment or so, and that hatch is going to fall now. So hatchery going down. +2 missile attack upgrade from Reynor, and we're going to be seeing, well, him catching up in that regard. And Snute not going lurker den, just goes muscular augments. Doesn't start his lurker den at all, so just looking to play kind of Roach Hydra for the foreseeable future. I mean, the Hydra's give him some ability on the map to still kind of deal with these mutas, something which he actually hasn't had yet. So this space up here gets found instantly. Mutas will be able to kill that off. So Snute trying to take a little bit of a hidden base, gets found, gets figured out. Not going to be successful. Hive on the way up from Snute in the main base. He's also very good at getting this Hive up early and using it to his advantage. With lurkers on the way from Reynor, the Hive is actually a really key feature to have. The Vipers, we haven't really seen them actually coming into use when we saw them on Ascension to Aya, for example. But now we could see those Vipers coming through, and if those Vipers are able to get some abducts on lurkers, etc., pulling them out of the ground and pulling them into the army, it's a very effective way to shut it down. As we're going to see these Mutalisks getting targeted by the Hydras, so Mia's taking quite a bit of damage here, and we are going to be seeing, well, this army of Reynor Gonna see what it can do. Snute begins to move out, but wants to be careful with what he wants to commit to. Again, I don't think he really wants to go anywhere until the Hive Tech is up and in play, at least the Vipers at the very least. Queen's gonna start getting targeted here as Snute gonna take a little bit of damage. Let's pull all the way back, and Reynor gonna take that as an opportunity to maybe get into position with the rest of his army. These units are gonna come on down now in towards the edge of the creep already. They're gonna start pushing onto that creep right now as well. Roaches, Hydras up on the high ground here, gonna start to fight, and oh my god, the Lurkers do burrow, and that's where Snute has to back away. His first Viper's just on the way now, so if Reynor was gonna do something pre-Vipers, this really is the time for it. We're going to see Roaches being pushed away to the right-hand side. The Lurkers burrow once again. Snoot's starting to fight into it, but oh my god, the splash damage is messy. He's trying to target down the Lurkers as he goes, but Reynor will destroy this fight. Oh my gosh, Snute loses so much here. In the end, Reynor will get cleaned up, but this was still not a win for Snute overall. This was a fight for Snute which went wrong for him. He comes out of this heavily down in supply. I mean, obviously, the Remax from Snute helps as well, being on his own side of the map. That was not pretty at all. As we're going to be seeing these couple of Vipers just consuming up on that hatchery once again. Overseer goes into section road as we see Roaches, Ravagers, and Hydras. So we're pushing down in this direction. We're going to be seeing these units going to split up a little bit and continue to fight. Roaches continue to push on through, and it's going to be GG well played from Snute. He just does not have an answer to this anymore. Reynor going along pretty darn quick today. To the top right hand side, our red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. He's up against the blue Zerg bottom left. Up 2-1. Prophecy Esports Reynor. We haven't popped a balloon in a while, have we, guys? We really haven't. Gotta make up for that a little bit. Pop a few in a row. Pop, pop, pop. All you guys thought these balloons were safe now? No, you're wrong. They're anything but safe still. Okay. It's enough for now. Just a few more. We gotta make some progress at points, you know. We'll make some progress at points. Hatch gas pool here from either player, so it's not going to be early aggression. Looking towards probably third hatcheries here or so over the next couple of moments, just to see how exactly this will indeed turn out. Speed coming through from both at the moment. Just getting us into a fairly comfortable position to more or less just macro from here at the moment. Nothing all too crazy. We've seen this setup from both of them already here today a couple of times, and it's really cool, both of them consistently getting out of the earlier stages of the game and into the later stages, in towards the macro games, and really getting to see some really awesome kind of army position and movements which kind of encourage kind of players to reposition their army, and then players taking advantage of that, for example. It's been pretty sick. Some really cool stuff from both of them so far. I mean, Snute and Reynor alike have both been making little moves like that. So far, Reynor has just been coming out on the better end of this, time and time again. A few Zerglings nibbling onto that third hatchery. Both of them building a third hatch and a Bane nest behind it. Again, no surprise there. It's the standard for ZvZ. It's how you set up very normally, without any kind of questions being asked. This is what you do. Don't just go into generally a normal game. Obviously, it turns into a bit of a weird one. Because, you know, while this is macro, it is kind of, you know, still some Ling Bane aggression. You have to go through the Ling Bane stage to be able to do all of this. Just be able to get set up into all of that kind of, all those bits and pieces. Couple more Banes finishing morphing as we do see some Zerglings of Snute going to be moving on along. Evolution Chamber comes up from Reynor. It's a pretty fast Evo Chamber then. Evo Chamber going to be finishing momentarily. A couple of Banes of Snute keeping up the aggression right now. Just going in towards the natural expansion and getting rid of a few Zerglings here. Big Daddy of Goats says Ghost Snute in the chat. Cheering on our Zerg player who is currently down and fighting for his life in this tournament, looking to take us to a game 5. Rotron starts up behind this natural mineral line as we do see Zerglings continue to stream on in. Gonna be jumping. Grabbing themselves another queen here. Another couple of Banes coming through as well. I'm not gonna be seeing those Banes. Just trying to see what else they could catch on to. Oh my god, though. Banes into the mineral line of the natural. Sorry, we just missed that here. But 10 workers going down. Big pickoffs. And behind this, Snute already a Roach coming in. So while Reynor goes into the missile upgrade, Snute just dives straight into his roaches, and look how many overlords he's making. He's almost definitely here looking to spam out units in the next few moments. He's currently rallying. I guess the overlord's just back. That's what that little rally point is. A couple more Banes on the way up. Another Baneling coming through as well. Looking to try and find a connection in the next moment or so. Another couple of Banes coming forwards. And they're going to hit this mineral line here, and they'll get not too clean. Two more Banes coming over, and we are going to be seeing them continuing to just fight and skirmish. Snute currently holding the worker lead and the army supply lead, and again, obviously a lot of that's with the roaches coming on up. Reynor, let's see these roaches now, as he's going to pick off one or two of them on their own. Snute continuing to build up the numbers though, and Reynor will have that +1 very shortly. He just needs to actually get his own roaches up. His roach runs on the way, but it's not ready yet. He was very late to add this on, and he has evened out the worker count, so now it does come down very much so to this defense for himself here. So coming down to his defense now. As you are going to be seeing another roach just through the center. Here we go, Snute starting to push through the center of the map, starting to get aggressive. Getting ready to go. Lair on the way up here from Snute, much later than the lair of Reynor, and he does start at the +1 missile attack upgrade. And he has kept droning, so it looks as though Snute's not actually going to end up going across the map. And to be fair, I think he probably kind of missed his timing anyway, so just going to drone up massively while Reynor was maybe afraid of Snute attacking. But does Reynor kind of look to attack himself? He has made roaches, he does have +1. Maybe he could. Very hard to identify the opportunity to attack at this stage though, and that's maybe going to be one of the issues. Roach speed continuing to come on in at the moment here, so roach speed still just setting on up. More roaches of Reynor just coming. So let's see what he can do. Zergling's going to go up the left hand side towards the upper left, trying to figure out what they can do also now, and just going to keep on running on through in the next few moments. We're going to see those roaches still from Snute. Just in position to defend his 4th base, and this game is going into the later stages. Snute is looking comfortable though. Up to 71 drones already, throwing down the Hydra Den. His upgrades are a little bit later, but coming through here shortly. Roaches here from Reynor are going to be able to knock down those rocks, so rocks will get knocked down, and we'll be able, Reynor, to continue moving in towards the upper right-hand side. Queen here pops down a creep tumor already, and it's going to be seeing the +2 missile attack. And that roach speed of Reynor continue to come up as well on the natural. Some Lings will get us around the 4th base, so Reynor is looking to be aggressive, but he's going to be attacking. Well, maybe just before the +1 finishes actually still. Here we go. He has a few more roaches in location here too, as he dives the Lings into the main base, and Snute's out of position. He's pulling units all around to kind of, respond to this. Reynor just going to try and take this fight while he can, while he has the advantages. Now +1 finishes up from Snute. I love this. A few roaches peel away to pick off a Ravager nice and quickly. A little ready. Reynor doing a lot of damage. Snute getting a lot more roaches out, and obviously that defender's advantage, that position here, is going to go really, really well for him. Those layers are going huge in the main. 8 workers killed, and he's picking off roaches too, and Snute just doesn't have a way to survive this. He has to type out GG. Reynor hits this so powerfully, and that is GG.